He's going to show all the streets that were barricaded and said there was no way to get through.
Yeah.
As if
That's
running over the barricade and running over people.
Yeah, that's the excuse he's trying to make, is that it was all barricaded and there were law enforcement, so there was no way to get off the parade route. Mm-hmm. Even though he drove through a barricade to get on the parade route, and then he drove through another one to get off the parade route. But when he was driving on the parade route, there's no way to get through those plastic barricades, so he had to run over upwards of 60 people.
Yeah. That was his only way around, or out.
Yeah. Backwards mask again.
Trying to find a loophole or something.
Yeah, he's trying to find anything.
So basically, you're just going off what you were told, because you just stated that you didn't make any determination, nor did you investigate it. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
And he thinks if you were told something, it doesn't count as evidence.
Yeah.
If you were told it, you don't know it for sure. Therefore, it doesn't count.
You also gave, when you were asked the question of, were there any other officers along the route, or I don't know if that was referring to side exits or anything of that nature, but I recall you saying that you gave an estimate, stating that you weren't sure where other officers were stationed, but you gave an approximate estimate. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
And would that have been officers stationed at different cross streets?
That is correct.
And those cross streets were barricaded?
I know that there were barricades across numerous intersections for the parade route. That's how we shut down traffic in the downtown area for parades.
So pretty much every side street is barricaded?
I can't give you specifics on what streets were barricaded, but yes, the vast majority of streets are barricaded to stop traffic for the parade route.
Can you pull up Exhibit 1 and publish?
He's going to show all the streets that were barricaded and said there was no way to get through.
Yeah.
As if
That's
running over the barricade and running over people.
Yeah, that's the excuse he's trying to make, is that it was all barricaded and there were law enforcement, so there was no way to get off the parade route. Mm-hmm. Even though he drove through a barricade to get on the parade route, and then he drove through another one to get off the parade route. But when he was driving on the parade route, there's no way to get through those plastic barricades, so he had to run over upwards of 60 people.
Yeah. That was his only way around, or out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it would be fair to say that there's pretty much barriers at every single street from White Rock and East Main to West Main and Northwest Avenue?
You ran through the barricades to get on White Rock, or to get on Main
all those
Street?
streets.
Yes.
So you had no choice.
Do you know if there were officers stationed at those barricades?
Yes, this map shows, it appears, where everyone was for their assignments that day.
So would it be fair to say if someone wanted to exit the parade route, they would essentially be blocked in by the officers and barricades?
No.
No.
There are barricades at these streets we can see. Would that be fair to say?
No.
So it's not fair to say that there's barricades at these streets?
It's fair to say that there's barricades at the streets.
Yeah.
So essentially, if someone was leaving the parade route, can they just go right through the barricades?
Yes.
No
Based
different
on
than
the
going through
previous
people's
videos that we
bodies.
just were shown.
Yeah.
Better, in my opinion, obviously.
Videos.
I'd rather
If someone was
you
leaving
break through a barricade.
the parade route,
Yeah.
can they just go down these streets that are barricaded? Can they just drive right out of there?
Yes, the videos
How
show
when,
that.
how when it's barricaded?
He's so incredulous. Like, Officer Schulten is like, is he seriously asking this
Yeah.
question? Like, because we just watched a video with you driving through the barricade, and I watched you on the day of the parade drive through the barricade. So what are you talking about? No, not from the previous video. He loves doing that too. Not from the video.
Right.
Not from what you saw. I'm asking you now. Can they do that? Yes, they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
How? Well, you did it. I watched you do it. You drove right through the barricade that day. I watched you. I shot at you.
As the video were shown earlier, the vehicle went right through the
Well,
barricade.
you asked the question, you have to let him answer that. He's giving you the reason. You asked him
Let
how.
him answer.
He's explaining it.
He don't want him to
Plenty of
answer.
ways to get off the parade route. You can stop.
What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say, he wants to control what his answer is gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So he wants to basically answer for him in a way, or
Yeah. He's trying to craft the question to have a specific answer.
yeah.
He tries to do that with everybody. He tries to craft their question so they have to answer a certain way, and then when they don't give the answer he wants, he doesn't know what to do because he's not a good lawyer.
Right.
He's like a Wish.com lawyer. Like when he asked, the first time he has Casey up on the stand and he asks, why would somebody honk their horn? And Casey's like, maybe to alert somebody of their presence.
Right.
Which is what he's trying to say. Well, I honked my horn. They just didn't get out the way. It's their fault I ran them over because I honked my horn. But then the second time Casey's on the stand and he's like, why would somebody honk their horn? And Casey says, well, I imagine the driver was angry. And he's like, what? He doesn't. He's like, wait, what? That didn't even come into his head.
Yeah.
Casey's like, I imagine he was angry and he wanted to get through the crowd. Well, why would you think that?
Yep.
Well, I've been driving a while and people get angry and they honk their horn at you, which is another valid answer.
He thought he would have control over the answer.
Yeah, he
That it
thought.
would be in his favor.
Yeah, because he always says, what's the only reason somebody will honk their horn?
Yeah.
That's not the only reason. People honk their horns for all kinds of reasons, dude. Yep.
You could have stopped the vehicle
Just stop.
at any point, or you could have driven through plastic barricades like you did at Northwest Avenue, where I was located.
Yep.
So yes, you can drive
refer to
through
as
plastic
who?
barricades.
The
You.
refer to as who?
Darrell Brooks, you.
You.
The person that's talking.
The you? And how did you come to the conclusion of that name, as you stated that you couldn't see past this building here, which you said is the Wisconsin house? Would that be fair to say?
Well, that's a compound question,
What?
so you need to rephrase that,
Yeah.
sir.
You stated, clear this right there.
Please? Is that a please?
Can you
Look
clear
at-
this?
Do you see how he looked at her? She said, can you
Yeah.
have some common courtesy towards my court clerk, please?
He doesn't give a care about the court clerk.
No.
Are you kidding?
No. She's like, could you have a little bit of common courtesy and ask my court clerk politely? Show her a little bit of respect. And she's like, was that a please? And he's like, what? Don't you talk back to me, woman. That's, oh my, it's
I
crazy.
control women. Don't.
Yeah. And then at the end, when he's talking about what rage, I ask myself, what rage they talking about? We see your rage through this entire trial, bro. You are full of rage towards women, especially. Women witnesses, the judge, Sue Opper. You are full of rage. And you don't hide it very well.
Once
So
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on.
being
We can
loud,
open the door on how old she told me
disrespectful,
she was when we
interrupting.
met. We can ask
He's-
that question
he is
too. Then
over the
Did you
top,
ask that?
animated
Did you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state
no,
finish.
I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom.
So it would be fair to say you also couldn't see what was happening along the parade route on Main Street. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
That's correct.
So it would be also fair to say that everything that you knew up until that point came over the radio and you didn't have first-hand knowledge.
Okay,
That's
babe.
correct.
You also stated that after a few minutes of hearing these, I guess, radio reports, you said after a few minutes, you noticed something was going on.